On the 59th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we're going to be talking about some NFL preseason news, along with some MLB news. We're going to be ranking the top 5 sports commercials of all time, and we are also going to be talking about the ending of these Olympic Games, and we're going to end it off with some Hall of Fame. Yay or nay? Special shout out to Prime Hydration for sponsoring this week's podcast. Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. We're going to start off here with some NFL preseason news. Now, with the NFL, one second. There's a lot of news. Not a lot of news. We got a few topics to talk about with the NFL. First and foremost, Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown, is going to miss some time. Andy Reid didn't specify how much time, but he basically dislocated his clavicle. Is that how I was told you pronounce it? Clavicle. It's basically your collarbone. He dislocated the collarbone against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he was rushed to the hospital. And again, Andy Reid did come out. Oh boy, what did I just do? Andy Reid came out and basically said that he is going to miss some time, but didn't. Let me try to find this. Oh man, one second, guys. Andy Reid came out and pretty much said. Here we go. Yeah. He didn't say there wasn't a set date when he was going to come back. If it was going to be before the season, he just said he was going to miss some time. I'm hoping, obviously, I don't love good guys getting injured because that is what makes the game so fun, good guys. But I'm hoping it doesn't go too far into the regular season if it does end up going to the season. But, so obviously this is preseason. Nobody takes this seriously, like, whatever. But the Jaguars did beat the Chiefs 26-13 in that game. But let's see what it says here. This is per ESPN. Kansas City Chiefs receiver Marquise Brown was taken to a local hospital for a dislocated clavicle, a potentially significant setback for the two-time defending Super Bowl champion. So he just signed a 1-year, $7 million contract in March. And then... Okay, so how he dislocated the clavicle was he landed awkwardly on his shoulder following an 11-yard reception on the opening play of the game where they ended up losing 26-13. So it's the opening play. It's given like Aaron Rodgers. Remember when Aaron Rodgers, like in the first few snaps, he obviously went down real quick there. But Andy Reid says, I think he'll miss some time. We'll just see where he's at. He's kind of going through it right now, and we'll know more on later. So again, there's no set date when he's going to come back. If it's going to be, I'm assuming it might be a week or two into the season. I'm hoping it's not too far into the season, and I'm hoping it's not too far of a setback, and it affects his game much. Reid said that it was the same injury, a certain joint dislocation that sidelined former Chiefs receiver Tyreek Hill for 4 games early in 2019. So if you guys remember, in 2019, Tyreek Hill did miss a few games due to dislocation in a joint. Andy Reid says it's similar to that. So if he's missing a month, when does the NFL season, when does the NFL regular season start? All right, so yeah. If it's a month, he might miss a week. If it's the same as this Tyreek injury that Andy Reid's talking about, but I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be good. Coincidentally, Hill was injured on the same field in the regular season opener that year. So again, the field's kind of known for that. Brown's injury was one of several issues with the Chiefs in their preseason opener. Obviously, they had a few setbacks in that game, which is kind of why they lost 26-13. But again, it's preseason. I know nobody takes those scores seriously. What else we got? Oh, the new kickoff rule. So this is causing a lot of confusion. Let me find. Yeah, this new kickoff rule. It's confusing me. It's confusing refs. It's confusing players. Well, I don't understand fully why they did it. It's going to take a while before everybody in the NFL is comfortable and confident about the new kickoff rules. That includes the officials. Now, the officials in the Jags game that I was just talking about, they won 26-13 against the Chiefs in the preseason game. It caused them to get a safety, this new kickoff rule. I don't fully understand it yet. I've seen it live in action. I just don't like it. I think that it's more confusing, and I think they just changed the rule to change the rule. Like, there's no if it's not wrong, don't fix it. That's how the phrase goes, something like that. But there was some confusion about a kickoff during the Jacksonville Jaguars' victory over the Chiefs on Saturday night. Originally ruled a touchback, the call was overturned after a lengthy discussion and stood as a safety for the Jags. Jags head coach Doug Peterson called the situation a teaching moment for the entire league and was pleased that although it took a while, the correct call was eventually made. Now, this is what I like about preseason. You can make these mistakes, obviously, these new rules and stuff. You can make these mistakes, and it really doesn't hurt you, and you learn from it. So I agree with Doug Peterson. It helps you. You don't have to learn this the hard way in a game where 1/16 of the season really does matter. 17th, how many games they ever play now. But I do like how they're testing this out in preseason. I just don't agree with the new thing. I understand kickoffs were kind of useless. Like, you were just going to take it at the 25 or whatever. But, there was no really reason to fix it or try to change it, I guess. Oh, here's something. Jim Harbaugh. NCAA hands Jim Harbaugh 4-year show cause for recruiting violations. Now, this doesn't have to do with the sign stealing situation that was taking place last year, but I'm gonna read you a little excerpt from ESPN News. The NCAA announced a 4-year show cause order for former Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh on Wednesday for impersonable contact with recruits and players while access was restricted during the COVID-19 pandemic, effectively banning him from college athletics until August 2028. Now, obviously, he just landed this new job. Like, he's not going to need to go back to, unless the Chargers absolutely suck and they fire him, he's not going to need to go back if he ever goes back to college football. But basically, he's not allowed to coach or be affiliated with NCAA athletics for the next 4 years, which, again, I understand there's consequences, but the consequence wasn't really a big consequence, if that makes sense. I don't know. I think college football is it's a completely different sport from NFL, and I obviously follow NFL a little bit more than college football, but between like NIL and recruiting and all that, I don't fully, I understand what this is about, but I don't know what I think about it. They can't really do anything about this. One second. The suspension, okay, he's suspended. He has a better job anyway. It doesn't really matter. Now, if he didn't take the job as the Chargers, which obviously he did, now this would be a problem, but it's not really a problem for him. What's done is done. Whatever. His consequence is that. Think of that as you will. All right, I think that is it for some NFL. If you guys want more topics on NFL, put them in comments below anywhere you see this. I do want to talk a little bit more about NFL, just reading some headlines, basically. But if there's anything more specific that you want me to rank or whatever in the NFL, make sure to comment them below. But MLB, it's getting a little bit interesting. We are towards the end of the season. We're 110 games in a 162-game season. I want to talk about a few divisions here for a second. Number one, the AL East, the Orioles, Yankees, not really the Red Sox anymore. The Orioles and Yankees, there are in between one game for the AL East. They are both around 70 and 48. Obviously, the Yankees are a game below that. They are 69 and 49 at the time of this recording, but they are really close. That is a matchup that you are going to want to see. We might see that later in the playoffs as well. Let's talk about the AL Central. Now, you got the Guardians, Twins, Royals. They're all within 3.5 games of each other. The Guardians, I think, are going to end up taking that. The Royals, I don't think will make... they might make the playoffs, but they're not going to win that division. I don't think, at least. Again, there's 50 games left in the season. A lot can happen, but, I don't think they have it. The White Sox, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it here in a few minutes, but basically, they had that 21-22 game losing streak. They won the one game, and I don't believe they've won since. Yeah, they haven't won since. What do you do? They are 28 and 91. 91 losses, 119 games into the season. 119 games into the season. They have 91 losses, 28 wins. Their winning percentage looks like a bad batting average. They have a .235 winning percentage, which if you are batting .235, that's not great. Now, that's a little bit below average, but that's a whole team's winning percentage. That's not even like like you either win or lose. It's not like in an at-bat where you can walk, you could strike out, you could hit a home run, double, single, triple, hit by pitch. Like, you win or you lose, and 23% of the time you're winning. That, like, they are absolutely horrible. 41 games back, and they are, oh my God, they are, in the last 10 games, again, they won that one game, so they're 1-9. At home, they're 17-42, and away, they are 11-49. That is absolutely crazy. Absolutely horrible. The AL West, I'm mad because the Astros were the Trastros were absolutely horrible throughout the first half of the season, and they kicked it in like for a month straight, and now they are tied with the Mariners. They are literally tied at 61-55 and 62-56, which equivalent out to basically the same. The Astros are 1,000th of a winning percentage better than the Mariners, but like, I don't understand how this division doesn't make a lot of sense to me because the Astros were obviously horrible and then they jumped up. They're now 61-55. The Mariners were always kind of in first. The Rangers, who won the World Series last year, aren't even 500. Like, what happened? You guys were a great team last year. Maybe not in the regular season. They weren't great, but they were still good. But they're 6.5 games back. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. All right, now let's go over to the NL. I'm going to save the NL West for last just because I want to get into that a little bit. But the Phillies have sole possession of first place in the NL East. The Braves are 7.5 games back. The Phillies, though, they're 4-6 in the last 10 games. They're kind of in a slump. But again, they're like where the Dodgers were 2 months ago, where they're 7.5 games ahead of the Braves. If the Braves had Acuna, maybe that would have been 5.5 games. I don't like the Braves aren't that good this season. The Mets are just behind the Braves, and then the Nationals and Marlins. The Marlins almost beat the Padres last night. I know by the time this comes out, that might not make a whole lot of sense to you guys. But they went to 10 innings last night. The Nationals, it's crazy because I never thought of the Nationals as a great team after the 2019? Is that when they won the World Series? 2019 season? When did the Nationals win the World Series? I believe it was 2019. 2019 World Series. Yeah. It was the Nationals. They beat the Trastros. Wait, hold up. 1 second. Yeah, I was right. The Nationals beat the Trastros that year. But yeah, I never thought of the Marlins being worse than the Nationals. Those two teams, they bring down the NL East quite a bit. The National League Central, the Brewers are in sole possession by 8 games. Again, they're way ahead. They won't have a problem winning that division. You got the Cardinals 8 games back, and then the Cubs 9.5, and then below and below. The Pirates and Reds are down there. I mean, they're bad, but they're not horrible. They're at 56 and 60 around whatever by the time this comes out, but they're still bad. Whatever. And now for the division I have been waiting for, the NL West. Man, so the Dodgers were in sole possession of the NL West pretty much all season. Maybe in the first few games, maybe not. I don't know exactly, but the majority of the season, they've been ahead by like 7-8 games. The Padres and Diamondbacks have this sprint going on. Basically, they cut the gap from like 7 games down to like 2.5 to 3.5 games. The Padres and Diamondbacks are like, it's win or die for us right now. They're at that final 5 meters. I know I'm American saying meters, but I've been watching too much Olympics. Don't worry about it. They're in like the final few feet. Again, behind the Dodgers. And as a Dodgers fan, I don't love to see it. I kind of like the competition because now this pushes the Dodgers to be even better. But the Dodgers are still in first. The Padres 2.5 games back. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Padres end up overtaking the Dodgers. I obviously want the Dodgers to win the division. But if the Dodgers make the wild card, I wouldn't be so mad. Now, hear me out before you guys start raging whatever in the comments. But basically, when you're the wild, so it goes from regular season to wild card to DS to CS to series. So when the Dodgers don't make that wild card, they have this long 2-week span of basically not playing baseball. When you're used to playing 162 games in 8 months, you're playing pretty much every day, 6 days a week. When you're playing 6 days a week, you don't have much rest, and now you get used to this 2-week break, and then you're now cold. And while these wild card teams are hot because they just had to play the regular season, they had to rush to play into the wild card. They know that they have to win to move on because obviously you want to win. So now they're super hot going into the sad, lonely, cold Dodgers who want to start playing after 2 weeks. So these wild card teams start coming in hot, and sometimes there's the upset that the wild card team ends up beating the Dodgers or something like the Dodgers have in the past. I know. Say all that stuff about the Dodgers, always blow it. But that's why, because they're so hot. There's that 2-week span, maybe it's a week or two, of the wild card. They're waiting for the wild card to be done, and then the wild card teams are hot. So yeah, if the Dodgers make the wild card, I almost want them to stay hot throughout the 9 months all the way past or into November to, again, make the World Series. And I'm calling it now, August 11th, 2024, the Dodgers are winning the World Series this year. This is our year. I truly do think that we have a team. Now, maybe a lot are injured. Pitching's our biggest problem right now. We have some injured guys, too. But Mookie's going to be back next week. Again, I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Mookie's going to be back. Freddie's already back. Shohei's not going to pitch this season. We're going to have some pitchers back. We got Kiermaier now. I love the guy, by the way. So, yeah, that's basically all the MLB standings as of today. I do want to talk about Mookie Betts is going to return, and obviously the past few seasons with the Dodgers, Mookie Betts has been leadoff, but Dave Roberts says, no way, Jose, or I guess it's not Jose, no way, Mookie. He says, no way that you are going to lead off. We're going to keep Shohei at leadoff, which I don't fully agree, and I think this may be a mistake by Dave Roberts. So Shohei Ohtani, how many home runs does he have? He has... One second. How many home runs? Home runs does Shohei Ohtani have? He has 35 home runs. In how many games have the Dodgers played? The Dodgers have played 117 games. So he's basically averaging a home run every 3 to 4 games. So that being said, you want guys on base when you hit a home run, because if you hit a solo shot, okay, it's 1 run. But if you hit a home run with 2 guys on base, that's 3 runs. So why would you want Shohei, who's averaging a home run every 3 games, why would you not want him to be in the 3-hole where he's still batting in the first inning? But again, Mookie and Freddie can get on, and he can hit a 3-run home run instead of a solo home run at leadoff spot. But Mookie has also been known to hit a lot of home runs too, especially last season. Remember, he had all those leadoff bombs. There's some record broken there. But again, I think that Shohei Ohtani should bat in the 3-hole. It should be Mookie, Freddie. They could get on. They have a good on-base percentage. And then Ohtani behind them. I don't know. That's just my opinion on all that. But, maybe this doesn't work out and Dave Roberts gets fired, and I'm fine with that. Yeah. What else we got? But yeah, Mookie. Oh yeah, and on top of that, Mookie Betts is also going to play right field. He's not going to play second base. He's going to play right field immediately when he comes back this upcoming week in the next few days or so. So yeah, let's look at this. I may have just exited. I think that's what I exited out of on accident. MLB. Here we go. All right, so we're going to talk about. So we're a little bit over halfway through the season, obviously. We're past the All-Star break, all of that. We are going to talk about some leaders. Who leads the league in some offensive aspects? All right, so we're going to start with hits. All right, hits are important. With 164 hits, you got Bobby Witt Jr. and then Vlad and Duran, who, congratulations, Jarren Duran. Great story by him. But they are the leaders in hits so far this season. Doubles, you got Alec Boehm, Duran again, and JJ Bleday. And doubles with 42. Alec Boehm has 42. Triples. Now, Jarren Duran has 13 triples on the season. That is a lot of triples. You got to be really quick, and you got to hit it. Triples are probably the hardest stat. The hardest offensive stat, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's got to be it's harder than a home run. Every guy that has more home runs than triples, almost every guy has that. Home runs, who leads in home runs? None other than the Judge. Aaron Judge has 41 home runs. Now, he hasn't hit a home run in a few games as of the time of this recording. By this comes out, he may have hit 7 more, who knows. But then at number 2, you got Shohei Ohtani, and then Marcell Ozuna, with they're tied at 35. Aaron Judge has the most RBIs, obviously, with 41 home runs. You're going to have quite a bit of RBIs. And then Jose Ramirez and Marcell Ozuna, second and third there. The most walks, Aaron Judge, obviously. Guys are scared to pitch to him. Shohei Ohtani is fourth. I just got to add that. He gets the participation trophy. But Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and Kyle Schwarber are top three for walks. 97 walks and about 100, a little over 100 games for Aaron Judge. Who has the most strikeouts offensively? None other than Elly De La Cruz. Oh, he's the next big thing. Now, he has 155 strikeouts. Again, 115 games into the season. What else we got? Stolen bases also led by Elly De La Cruz, 59 at the time of this recording. And then second place has 33. 59 to 33. He has almost double the amount of stolen bases. But he was caught stealing quite more than everybody else. Wait, actually, I take that back. He is in third for caught stealing. He's been caught stealing 11 times. First has 12. Batting average. Who has the highest batting average? Bobby Witt Jr. with the 347. That's right. 347 batting average. That is incredibly high. Average is probably 250 or so. Stephen Kwan with second at 226, and then Aaron Judge is at 323. On base percentage. Now, OPS I think is I think WAR is the best stat, but on base percentage is up there too. OPS I think is obviously counts in slugging too, but on base percentage, Aaron Judge has the best on base percentage. Nearly half the time that he gets up to every at bat, pretty much he gets on base. Half. Think about that. He gets on base. Now, again, he's one of the leaders in walks. Nearly half the time he gets up to bat, he's going to get on base. That's absolutely wild. And then slugging, Judge and Ohtani and Witt, and then OPS is going to be Judge, Soto, and Ohtani. The great three. Those are definitely the three best guys in the league this year. So, yeah, those are your league leaders so far. Oh boy, here we go. On to the top 5 sports commercials of all time. Now, there has been some iconic sports commercials, series commercials, whatever you want to call it, especially in the last few years. This is in the modern era, so in the last 5 years or so. And this is everything. I say sports commercials. These aren't all sports commercials. They're just all on during usually NFL season or MLB season. At number 5, you got the Apple, where the outlets are singing. I'm not a big fan. That's why it's at number 5. But, you know, they're up there. It's cool. It gets in your head. A lot of people don't like it. I don't mind it. Whatever. It's just always on. Apple definitely did their part. They definitely paid a lot of money for all these ads. Again, mostly during the NFL season. At number 4, you got BK, Have It Your Way. Now, a couple seasons ago, this was the biggest commercial series of all time. You could recite it word for word. We got 4 TVs up here at any point of time during 1 o'clock Eastern time, all the way till the night game ended. There would at least be one BK commercial on all of them. So yeah, that deserves the number 4 spot. Kind of annoying, but you know, it's iconic. And that's what we're going for. At number 3, you got the college football Fansville Dr. Pepper. Now, they've kind of died off a little bit in my book, at least. Now, a few seasons ago, 2019, 2020, 2021, they were incredibly good. I love watching them. You know, you kind of look forward to commercials when you got Fansville on, but I feel like they've slowly died down in the last few seasons. They're just trying to do too much with it, which you often see with a lot of brands. But you know what? Nonetheless, they gave me a great 3 years, and clap it up for Podium. You got bronze. Congratulations, Dr. Pepper. At number 2, you got the Cheez-Its football, you know, cheese, another iconic one. Not super well known, not well known, but it's well known. It's not super annoying, which I like, and that is why it's at the number 2 spot. At number 1, the greatest commercial possibly of all time, not even just sports. You got Geico's Tag Team Scoop. There it is with Tag Team. I love that commercial. I mean, I think that is the greatest commercial of all time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but there are your top 5 commercials, sports commercials of all time. And comment below what else you want me to rank. Top 5 what? I just thought I saw something with this. I think I forget which, the BK commercial. It's like, oh, I could rank that. But we are on to the Olympics. Now, the Olympic Games are coming to an end. I believe they end today at the time of this recording. But, you know, we got to talk about it. There's some news going on here. I feel like I'm missing something, but maybe not. Oh, whatever. But yes, Olympics, they are coming to an end. The USA is straight dominating in total medals. Now, they are close with China. Again, at the time of this recording, China has 40 gold medals. The US has 39 gold medals. So they're neck and neck there. But total overall medals, the USA has 125, which second place has 91, which is China. China's at second place. But congratulations, USA. I mean, what a great, great country we are. 125 gold medals is absolutely wild. This is a long list, but this is oh wow, this is going to take a second. This is every Olympic event that the USA has won a medal in. So it's going to go in alphabetical order. You got three by 3x3 basketball, archery, artistic gymnastics, artistic swimming, athletics, basketball, boxing, breaking, canoe, slalom, canoe, sprint, cycling, BMX, freestyle, cycling, mountain bike, cycling, road, cycling track, diving, equestrian, fencing, football, golf, rowing, rugby 7, sailing, shooting, skateboarding, sport, climbing, surfing, swimming, taekwondo, tennis, triathlon, volleyball, water polo, weightlifting, and wrestling. Those are all of the events that the U.S. has won a medal in. And in athletics, which is very broad, they have won 14 gold medals, 11 silvers, and 9 bronze medals. And that equals to 34 just in athletics, which I don't fully understand, like, what category goes into athletics. But, I could tell you. Oh, don't you worry, I could tell you. It's basically all the running. But it's all the running, long jumps, discus throwing, relays, hurdles, pole vaults, shot put, all those kind of stuff. And we won gold and all that. So, now that we got that out of the way, that the U.S. is great at a whole bunch of sports, China is also, they just have a lot of golds. They don't have a lot of total medals. They just have a lot of golds. We have more silver and bronze medals than they have gold medals, silvers, and obviously bronze too. I don't know if that made sense, how I said that. But some news. The women's 4x400. So I was watching NBC and Peacock, whatever, all week long. Not all week. I was watching a lot of the Olympics this past week. And one thing that really stuck out to me, I was like, I got to talk about this on the podcast, was the women's 4x400 relay race. The U.S. absolutely destroyed that. Now, it's the 4x400, so it's a relay. Each person runs 100 meters. So that sounds simple. All right, it might be a close race. No, the U.S. won by like 10 seconds. They wasn't even close. The reporters, they were talking about silver and bronze because they knew that you should have seen the camera angle. They had to zoom out so much you could hardly see the people just because the U.S. were like almost a quarter of a lap ahead of everybody else. It was absolutely wild. They set a USA record, and I want to say they tied the overall record for 4x400. Don't quote me on that. I know they broke some records and tied some. Just absolutely incredible women that did that. I've never seen somebody run so fast. I forget exactly. Again, I'm American. They had it in kilometers per hour. I go by miles an hour. They go by meters. I go by feet. But yeah, what's even a meter? Like, I know what a foot is, but what's a meter? But yeah. Let's talk about the basketball. USA basketball bringing home the gold. Steph Curry with the 3-point of his life sends France to sleep. The hometown heroes, France is the country, French are the people. The French, they got to go night-night, says Steph Curry. All right, so I kind of take notes on what this is. I'm sure I'll put a video up or something like that. He was double-teamed. He had 2 French guys on him. He was probably 5 to 10 feet behind the 3-point line, and he just kind of goes like, it wasn't even a full shot. It was kind of a shot, but he kind of just throws it up in there, makes the 3 for the U.S. to lead by 7. They were winning by 4, and then that kind of puts them away. That starts to put the French away. Steph Curry does his little night-night dance, and and the U.S. brings home the gold. I want to say, I lost. Oh, yeah. Team USA, they won. That was their 5th straight men's basketball gold medal. So congratulations, USA. Go America. All right, some other news in the Olympic sports. Noah Lyles wins a gold and bronze medal in running. He had various, let me see if I could find this again. Basically, nope. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, I forgot to talk about that too. All right, I don't have it up. Basically, this Noah Lyles, he won gold and bronze medal in running again. There was various events, like one was like 100 meters, one was 400 meters, something like that. But it later was found out that he had the coronavirus, the Rona, the COVID, whatever you want to call it, COVID-19. He had that, and he still won. So yeah, he was like wheeled out in a wheelchair or something, because obviously when you have COVID, I don't know about you guys, if you guys had COVID in that whole pandemic that happened, but basically you're out of breath. You don't have a whole lot of stamina, but he still ends up winning gold and bronze, so congratulations to him. And yeah, so now we are on to my favorite segment of the show, Hall of Fame, yay or nay. All right, so for Hall of Fame, yay or nay, we have somebody that is already in the Hall of Fame, but no, you guys got to wait for this. Let me pull up his stats. I had it up here somewhere. Jackie Robinson, so obviously he's in the Hall of Fame, but is he in the Hall of Fame for being the influential person that he is? First black player that was in the major leagues, broke the color barrier with the Brooklyn Dodgers. He is in the Hall of Fame. Is he in the Hall of Fame for that or for the statistics behind it? Now, that is the question. So, obviously, he's in the Hall of Fame. He won MVP. What year was that? That was, he won MVP in 1949. What other stats did he have? He won Rookie of the Year. I believe he was the first ever player to win Rookie of the Year. I think that is true. So he won Rookie of the Year in 1947. Now, this is all, this isn't like the Negro Leagues or any of that. This is all MLB stats. He won the 1955 World Series, obviously, with your boys, the Dodgers. 7-time All-Star, and then he won the batting title. He played only with the Dodgers from 47 to 56. Now, let's see what he led the league in. So, again, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for the color barrier, but this is if he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame for his stats. The statistics is what matters in here. Now, I'm going to try to be not as biased towards him because, obviously, he played for the Dodgers, one of my favorite players of all time. But he led the league in doubles and home runs in 1945. He led the league in walks and caught stealing in 1947, along in 1947 with sacrifice hits with 28 in 1947. He led the league in hit by pitches in 1948. Like, why are you trying to hit him? He's trying to break barriers. You guys should keep trying to hit him. He stolen bases and caught stealing in 1949, along with batting average, a 342 batting average. Now then, it's kind of like currency. It's kind of it went down in the U.S. overtime, and same with batting average. But he did lead the league in 1949 with a 342 batting average, and then he also, the last thing, he led the league in on-base percentage with a 440 in 1952. Let's see. So he was 5th in MVP voting his first year. He was always top 15 up until 1954 in MVP voting. He was an all-star from 1949 to 1954. Now, let's see, stats-wise. So he led the league in some good and bad stats. What was his career WAR? I don't think they calculated WAR then. Man. Wait, let me see if I can find it up here. Nope. It doesn't look like they calculated WAR at that time, or they couldn't. Oh, no, they did. I take that back. 63.9 wins above replacement in his career in less than 10 years. That is a big plus. He had he was 3 away from 5,000 at bats. He had over 1,500 hits, 141 home runs, a career batting average of 313, 972 total runs, 761 RBIs, 200 stolen bases, a 410 on base percentage, a 477 slugging, OPS of 887, and an OPS plus of 133. I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. I mean, if I didn't see that WAR, maybe not, but nearly 64 wins above replacement in less than 10 years, yeah. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. It is a yay. Hall of Fame, yay or nay? It is a yay. Thank you guys for watching the 59th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. You can listen wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you find us. Go to shop@HatTrickSports.com to get some merch. We got a whole bunch of merch out there now. Go check out Prime Hydration. Thank you for powering this week's podcast, and we will see you next week for episode 60.